Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well today. It's time for my monthly dividend update for June. And I always say this every time I make one of these dividend updates, is that it feels like for the month that I didn't do anything. And then when I get to going and doing this update, I'm like, holy crap, I did all kinds of stuff. And it just doesn't feel that way, because I'm not the type that just buys all at once. Usually I'll just buy a share of this, I'll buy a share of that, and I'm real slow and methodical in the way that I invest in stocks. But yeah, I'm always shocked that even if you do just a little bit, it adds up over time. And these monthly dividend updates really show me that even though you're buying a share of this one day and a share of that the next day, it really adds up. And so that just shows that every little bit helps, and if you just keep going, invest consistently, that you will make progress. And that's almost with anything in life, right? So if you're new here, please consider subscribing down below. Leave me a comment. I do these dividend portfolio updates once a month. I do ETF reviews. I do fixed income reviews. I try to cover a lot of dividend paying ETFs for people for fixed income. I will be doing some growth ETFs as well, just to cover all bases. But if you're new here, just leave me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll go through this update and see what kind of changes we made. So first up, right here in this section right here, sorry, that might have messed you up, but we'll see this is the May copy. So this is how May ended. And if you look at my spreadsheet, how I got it broken down to is these dark navy sections are my M1 Finance brokerage. The bright green is my wife's Fidelity Roth IRA. The darker green is a Fidelity brokerage account. This salmon color is my WeBull account, and this light green color is my Robinhood account. Now for those two, for M1 Finance, I have a link down in the description below. If you don't know M1 Finance and you're interested, let me know. I have a link that down below that will get you $10, get me $10, and if you're not using it and you use my link, it's like a win-win. And with Robinhood, I have a link down there as well. I think you get a couple free stocks by signing up and depositing, and I think I do as well. So just a win-win on those. Just throw that out there. And then this bright blue is a Chase Roth IRA. So that's how that's broken down in colors. And so over here on the left side is June, how I ended up in June. And you look at M1 Finance, I cut a lot of positions. I cut out IBM, I cut out 3M, and I have QYLD over here. I did not cut that out, but I consolidated it into one on the spreadsheet. So essentially M1 has Prudential, ExxonMobil, and QYLD in it currently. For the Fidelity, and then for Prudential, what I did when I got rid of IBM and 3M, I reinvested that money into mostly Prudential and ExxonMobil. So you'll see Prudential, I ended May with 7.4 shares of Prudential, and I'm up to 13.2. And ExxonMobil, I ended May with 10.1 shares, and I doubled that position. I'm up to 20.3 shares in ExxonMobil. And now we go down to the Fidelity Roth. I got a dividend from ADM. It dripped to 0.127 shares. Cisco, I added 1 share. Canadian Bank, ticker symbol CM, I didn't do anything with that. Coca-Cola, I added 1 share of Coca-Cola. PPL, which is a utility, I added 5 shares in the month of June. Wells Fargo, they paid a dividend and dripped 0.556 shares. So I got half a share, a little over half a share off the drip there. Pfizer, I added and they paid the dividend. So I added 10 shares of Pfizer and dripped 0.318 shares in that position. BPYU, which is a Brookfield Property REIT, been hammered pretty good. One of my biggest losing positions so far. But I added a couple shares. I think I added 3 shares on my own. And then it paid a dividend and it added 4 shares on the drip, from bringing me from 122.6 to 129.6. Ventas, they cut their dividend, or reduce, I shouldn't say cut, they reduced the dividend. But I haven't added to that. And AT&T, I added 3 shares of AT&T to get up to 74.99. So now we'll go down to the brokerage account. We have THW, which is the Tekla Healthcare Closed-End Fund. If you don't know what a closed-end fund is, I'll link a card up where I do a little bit of an explanation of closed-end funds and how they operate. I don't suggest anybody to buy into a closed-end fund without knowing exactly how they operate. I'm going to need to update that video because, to be honest with you, it's not the best, but this will give you a basic idea of how closed-end funds work. And then keep a lookout in the next few weeks and I will update that video to try to make it a little bit more clear. So with that one, it just dripped. It's a monthly pair. It dripped about 1/4 of a share, so I'm up to 15.508. UTF is another closed-end fund. It's an infrastructure fund, one of my favorites. And did I add to that? Yes, I added 4 shares of UTF to bring my total up to 30. Then it dripped a little bit. Got about 0.3 something shares out of the drip for the month. WBA, Walgreens Boots Alliance, it had a dividend and it dripped 0.153 shares. Levi's over there in the WeBull account, 2 shares. Now July 1st, I did sell out of that, so that's going to go away. But this is the June report. VER, ticker symbol VER, over there in the Robinhood portfolio. This is a net lease REIT, very similar to ticker symbol O, Realty Income, and but they've had a little bit of scandals and things like that. You notice I like kind of scandal stocks because I own Wells Fargo too. But they've been managed very well since coming out of their little scandal issue, and they've had to change CEOs and all kinds of stuff, lawsuits like crazy. But I'm holding on to that. Current share price I think is around $6.52. It still pays a dividend. They reduced it, and it's kind of my spec REIT play. So going down, Leggett & Platt, I ended May with 13 shares of Leggett & Platt, and I kind of have a rule, since this ticker symbol is leg, that I should be buying them in 2s, because having an odd number of legs is probably not a good thing. So I added 1 share of Leggett & Platt, so I went up to 14 even number of legs there. Now, a new addition to the portfolio here is Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. And I added 100 shares of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Fun fact, back in the mid-90s, I worked for Hewlett-Packard. And it's one of my favorite jobs, actually. I was a warehouse man and drove a bunch of forklifts and stuff. But they pay about a 4% yield. I'm kind of using this as a trading stock. I'm not going to hold this long term, I don't think. So we got 100 shares of Hewlett-Packard Enterprises. Verizon, what did I do with Verizon? Oh, I added 5 shares of Verizon in the month of June. See, that's what I'm saying. You do some of these things through the month and it doesn't seem like you do much, but you know, when I'm looking at this, it's like, wow, I bought that much. Cisco Systems, which is the tech company, I added 1 share of Cisco. AMLP, which is a ETF that covers master limited partnerships, such as in the energy space, that does not issue a K1 tax form, and you can hold this in a Roth IRA. It has been a big underperformer, but it has not canceled the dividend yet. VET is thorn in my side. I should have just dumped it when I had the chance, but I've been selling covered calls on it, and you know, we'll see. They cut their dividend, and it's not one of my proudest holdings. And then ELS, Equity Lifestyle Properties. I added 1 share of ELS to bring my total up to 12. If you want to know more about this Equity Lifestyle Property, I'm going to leave a card up here with another YouTube creator that did a excellent overview on the company ELS, Equity Lifestyle Properties, and that is by Stock Ninja. You'll see it right up there. Go over there, check out that video, and you get a better understanding of what Equity Lifestyle Properties is, and highly recommended. Next up is Bank OZK. I added 1 share of Bank OZK and got up to 43 shares. MDP, Meredith Corporation, that does the magazines and things like that, print advertising. I sold out of them. Then in the month of June, they had a big spike up in the month of June, and I was able to flip that for about a 25% profit, so I got out of it very quickly. And then Altria Group, I added 1 share of Altria Group to bring my total up to 70.599 shares. So those are all the changes. And how's dividend income looking? Well, that's not all the changes. That's just the changes. I did do an addition. I added even more QYLD. If you look here, I have a grand total of 234.49955 shares of QYLD. So that's combined from M1 Finance and Fidelity. And with that holding, I get about $548 of annual income a year. I mentioned Ventas. I'll just go through some updates here. I mentioned Ventas. They reduced their dividend from, what was it? $3.17 or something like that, down to $1.80. So they still pay a dividend. I'm still long this stock. I still believe in the senior housing community long-term, senior housing facilities and things of that nature. What else? I think that's it. I mean, I'd like to get rid of Vermilion Energies, ticker symbol VET, because they don't pay a dividend, but I have been collecting a bunch of covered call income from it. Did I close that out? Because I wanted to show that. If we go over here to covered call income, I put on here call and put income because I have started selling cash secured puts, and that has really helped out with the income. Because if you look at the end of May, I ended May with covered call income of $242.52 for the year. I just do this cumulative, and so you can see here for the month of June I did a grand total of $417.37 cumulative. So what is that? I should have done the math before I started the video, but that is about $180 that I've collected in covered call and cash secured put income for the month of June. So we'll close that out. So if we look at my annual income so far, I am projected to do $1,984.42. I closed out May right here with a total of $1,461.41 in annual dividend income, and that is all basically due to me putting a lot of my cash position, or I shouldn't say a lot, a percentage of my cash position into QYLD, and that really bumped up the annual income, even with the cut to VTR. So currently my monthly average is $165.37. I had a 2020 goal of $200. So we got a few months left still to try to get to that goal. I think we'll get it, but I'm not sure. So if we look at portfolio allocation, things have changed. I have QYLD in this sector under income. I really don't like it. It's hard to classify that fund, even though QYLD is technically a covered call ETF on the tech sector, or the NASDAQ 100, which is tech heavy. I wouldn't call it a tech fund. So, you know, technically it's an income fund, but I kind of don't like it in this pie. I might have to move it out somehow because it skews what my other stocks holdings are. But I still like the mix. I'd like more technology. I'm only at 8.9%. Consumer staples at 15%. Healthcare is only at 8%. Utilities is under 6%. So I'd like to up those as well. But everything else is looking pretty good. I really would like to get industrials up. I only have 1.7%, and the only holding in that is Leggett and Platt. So that's it, guys. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'll be coming up with some new videos soon on some different ETFs, and I'm looking for some monthly pairs because I know that's what you guys like to see. So again, any questions, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.